Very happy morning to all of you kids. I hope that you all are fit and fine. Students, here I am showing you some materials from our surrounding. Like I have collected the pictures of coins, bottle, shoes, bricks, overcoat, leather purse, some stones and a plastic bottle. Now what will happen, or what will you tell me if I ask you that you need to tell me the properties of these materials shown? There are many ways by which you can tell me the properties of these materials. You can tell me that ma'am, these and these are coins. You can also tell me that ma'am, this and this is a bottle, right? And the another way can also be that ma'am, this and this is made up of metal, it is made up of glass, it is made up of plastic, this and this is made up of leather, okay? This wall is made up of bricks, but this wall is made up of stones. So in this way we have different ways of telling the properties of the materials, and on the basis of this we classify materials into different groups. Students, you must have visited any grocery shop or any kirana store or any supermarket. There they place the different items in different stacks and similar items in the stacks one over the another or in the same stack. Why they kept so? Why they keep the elements or keep the materials in this way? Yes, so that we can find that easily, right? So in this way we need to group the things together to make the study of their properties easy, so as to find them easy, so as to make our time valuable, or to save our time. Okay students, so that is what we are going to do in our chapter. The chapter is sorting materials into groups. So why we need to sort materials into groups? We need to classify the elements into groups so as to make our work convenient, so that we can do or we can take out the things easily, or to save our energy and time, to make the study of objects easily. Okay, means if the grocery shopkeeper, if he has placed the different kind of teas in one stack, then it means that if you just see one tea packet, you will say that yes, there are other brands will be in the same stack. So in this way it makes the objects study easy. Okay, now this process of classification is not confined to only one way. There are many ways in which you can classify the elements. Okay, like you can classify the elements by the materials with which they are made, or you can classify it on the basis of state of the material, like ice is a solid but water is a liquid. So this is on the basis of state, we are differentiating between the two things. Then roughness can also be a property. Then hardness, yes, some things are very hard and some are very soft. Luster means whether they can produce shine or not. Then transparency means can we see on the other side of the object whether it is transparent or opaque or translucent. Then solubility means whether it is soluble in water or it is not, or in some other solvent you can say. Then flotation, like whether it can float on water or not. Then conductivity, like whether it can conduct electricity or not. And we can also classify the objects on the basis of its magnetic properties, like whether it can be magnetized or not, it has the magnetic properties or not. Okay, students. So these are the different ways by which we can categorize the elements so as to make their study easy. Okay, we will discuss about all these points in the next class. I hope that you have understood that why the sorting materials into groups is necessary, why we need to classify the elements. You can make your knowledge more clear by just grouping the things around you into different categories, and we will discuss that in the next class. Thank you, students. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe.